Nearly 2 weeks ago, you may have noticed that hundreds of classic NASCAR broadcasts from the 90s, 80s, 70s, and even as far back as the 50s and 60s suddenly, and without warning, disappeared from the face of YouTube, almost as if someone had snapped them out of existence. Now, for nearly 2 years, there has been a lot of speculation and fear that NASCAR was starting their own streaming service, similar to the WWE network, that would host not only modern NASCAR racing, but also host all of the classic content that NASCAR owns the broadcast rights to. It appeared that after putting up with nearly 10 years of their races being uploaded in full and commercial-free to YouTube, NASCAR was finally bringing down the hammer on the platform. The anger from the NASCAR fan base was palpable. The same old claims of the folks in the sport being out of touch rang out. Mere days away from the biggest race of NASCAR's season, fans couldn't relive their favorite moments of years gone by. But then, a bombshell was dropped on r/NASCAR, which totally changed the face of this conversation. The post was penned by RaceFan84, a NASCAR YouTuber notable for uploading full race broadcasts, and was co-signed by similar YouTubers SmithTV, Dave W, and Gingerbreadman46. Now, the post itself claimed that NASCAR taking the races down couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, NASCAR had nothing to do with the takedown. But the biggest bombshell of the post was an implication of who was directly responsible for this takedown. Included were screenshots, 3 to be exact, of race takedowns that had been issued not by NASCAR, but by a YouTuber by the name of Vanilla Coker 1. But just who the hell exactly is this Vanilla Coker 1? And exactly why is he under the impression that he, and only he, is the NASCAR police on YouTube when he himself is not associated with any broadcasting company and certainly not affiliated with NASCAR themselves? I was able to get in touch with SmithTV, of course, one of the YouTubers who implicated Coker in this takedown. And I wanted him to shed a little more light on this situation and give me his thoughts at the time.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm from Maine. I'm 33, married. I don't live in a basement. I don't live with my parents. And I'm not an internet troll. I'm a grown-ass man who works a full-time job managing an auto parts store. I've been a fan of NASCAR for 28 years now. Rabid fan. I live and breathe it. Racing in general, really, but especially NASCAR. Anyway, I am SmithTV. I am one of several guys on YouTube who are more or less doing God's work. I know that sounds extremely pretentious, but in all reality, the fact that so much of this classic footage is out there is a testament to the dedication and generosity of people like myself, Dave W, Gingerbreadman46, RaceFan84, some of the older guard, Buggy Boy. The nameless individual in question, I first encountered him about a year and a half ago. I'd joined a forum, maybe 2 years ago now. I joined a forum online. It was a tape trading forum. And before I could even interact with anybody in any way, shape, or form, this individual kicked me out, banned my IP address, etc., and then proceeded to come onto my channel on a video in a very, just rude fashion and blunt fashion, just come at me, you shouldn't be uploading this, and that's mine, and you guys suck. And I mean, he was a little more articulate than that, but the fact of the matter is this guy's been harassing me for 2 years and has been harassing other uploaders for a cause that is irrelevant. Like, NASCAR doesn't care that we're uploading these races. He is one of few people that care. Everybody else with half a brain just loves this stuff. So I don't know what his deal is. The loss of these races is immeasurable and unfortunate. One individual, a turd in the punch bowl, if you will, has single-handedly sullied what was honestly a a noble endeavor. We're just trying to put this stuff out so people can watch it, because eventually NASCAR might not be around, and it's certainly not around in the sense of how it was 10, 15, 20, or 30, or 40 years ago. It's important for this stuff to be out there for the kids to see and to know about the sport's history and to know where it came from and to know how good it once was, you know. It's just a shame that one person's crusade can negatively impact so many people who have the same love that he does of racing. It's just, I don't get it, and I don't know why he's online lying and stuff, but it's ridiculous.
So essentially, Coker is a tape trader, and a disgruntled one at that, angry at YouTube and possibly the world for moving past an antiquated system. What is that system? Well, before readily available internet streaming, tape trading was one of the only ways you could see races that you yourself didn't personally record. People within the tape trading community would create many copies of races that they recorded themselves and then trade with other like-minded individuals. Sometimes they would even sell their copies for profit. But with the rise of the internet, as well as torrent sites and YouTube, tape trading became an antiquated art and an unnecessary one. If you had access to a race, you could just digitize it and make it available for the entire world to see. But for the folks who, one way or another, were profiting from owning access to rare race broadcasts, like Coker himself, YouTube represents a great threat to their way of life. Look no further than Coker's own personal YouTube description, where he lambasts full race uploaders, despite the fact that he himself on his channel has full NASCAR programming available to watch. In light of this information, Coker was absolutely destroyed on social media, and despite denying any involvement in the February takedowns, he directly admitted to the alleged screenshots of him copyright striking RaceFan84. As stated previously, Vanilla Coker 1 has absolutely zero affiliation with NASCAR or NASCAR broadcasting, and therefore has zero legal ownership of that footage, regardless of whether or not he chooses to upload full races to YouTube. This means the Vanilla Coker 1 YouTube account directly violated YouTube terms of services, which there are clear and specific rules and consequences for abusing the copyright system on the platform. Coker pulling down those races in some sort of a misguided vigilante justice attempt for NASCAR is about as blatant of a false flag as you can get. According to YouTube's own rules, at the very least, the Vanilla Coker 1 account should be suspended for these violations. So this is where I want to directly address one of Coker's tweets where he completely demonstrates his misunderstanding of how YouTube copyright works and the copyright system itself. He states that regular people have very little pull to get anything done on YouTube, much less get channels erased. As correctly pointed out in Kamikaze's fantastic video that he did on the situation about a week ago, he levied 2 copyright strikes on RaceFan84. Now, YouTube just recently changed their copyright strike system, but the system that Coker struck these videos under, 2 strikes were exactly 1 strike away. In other words, if he had striked another one of RaceFan84's videos, RaceFan84 would have lost his channel and lost all of his videos. So it's complete and utter BS that he claims that regular people, which he most certainly is, not associated with NASCAR in any way, have any pull to get channels taken down. That is a blatant misunderstanding of a copyright system that he himself admitted to abusing. So Coker thought he was Batman. He thought he was the Caped Crusader of NASCAR YouTuber, but it turned out Coker was just a joker who was false flagging YouTube channels. But the thing I couldn't wrap my head around, and one of the reasons that this video did not come out about a week ago, was how Coker himself was able to take down the massive amount of races that were taken down in the February purge. Despite gleefully admitting that he himself had flagged RaceFan84 earlier in the year, he adamantly denied having any involvement in the February takedown. So was Vanilla Coker 1 directly responsible for the NASCAR YouTube purge? The short answer, no. Yesterday, a second Reddit post appeared, this time authored by Smith TV, who you heard from earlier, who clarified the situation and explained exactly why and how the races were taken down. In fact, they hadn't been taken down by any third party, either Vanilla Coker 1 himself or even NASCAR. Neither entity had anything to do directly with this particular takedown. It was a voluntary takedown by the 4 channels involved in the original Reddit post that took their races down as a preventative measure to prevent either Vanilla Coker or a similar vigilante, angry NASCAR tape trader from absolutely decimating NASCAR YouTube. Now, why exactly these 4 YouTubers decided to go with this plan at this time of year, considering that the copyright strikes were filed in the fall of last year, is a bit of a mystery to me. Allow me to make a bit of a guess, though, saying that possibly they decided that the moment of impact, the biggest impact that such a blackout of NASCAR YouTube, so to speak, would be the week of the Daytona 500, which was exactly when this happened. This was when you're going to have a lot of people looking for NASCAR content, and then suddenly to have that NASCAR content taken away from them would draw an awful lot of attention, and these Reddit posts and Twitter posts and YouTube videos about it would draw attention to the people who are abusing the copyright system, specifically Vanilla Coker 1. So, the races, by my understanding, are not lost. They are still on YouTube, and whether or not these channels decide to unprivate these videos and put them back up seems to be unclear. They might be moving to all these races to another video platform. It's kind of hard to understand exactly what the next step is going to be. I will reiterate that I think Vanilla Coker 1 should absolutely lose his YouTube channel for abusing the copyright system. I think that's a zero tolerance thing, and quite frankly, it's disgusting what he did, even though he wasn't responsible directly for the major loss of all the races on YouTube. He certainly was at least partially responsible, or at least put the fear into these YouTube channels' heads that this possibility could exist. I will also speak on the NASCAR issue. I have it on very good authority that NASCAR knows exactly who is talking about them on the internet. They know exactly what is being said, and they also know everybody who is uploading their content to YouTube. They know exactly who everybody is. They know who all the big players are. They know everything. If they had a problem with classic races being online, those races would no longer be online. NASCAR clearly does not have a problem with classic races being uploaded, and they clearly do not think that it is stealing content within a certain respect, as long as you're not, putting your own advertising on full unedited races and whatnot. NASCAR pretty clearly is fine with that. I think they see the benefits to having classic races up on YouTube, and I think pretty clearly that's their policy. So it's unfortunate that I had to make this video, that I had to bring all this information in here, but I hope it's helped some people who have been confused exactly what has been going on with NASCAR on YouTube, because quite frankly it's a very confusing situation. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be a little bit critical of the YouTubers who came out against Coker. I wish they would have been a lot more specific exactly what the situation was from the beginning, because it probably would have stopped a lot of confusion on the side of the fan base. First they thought it was all NASCAR, then they thought it was all Coker, and then it turned out to be neither of the two. But I was glad that Coker did get exposed because he absolutely violated YouTube laws, and I can't stress that one enough. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more motorsport and NASCAR content. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next video.